Hey, how you doing? It's Brian Bliss. Just out here enjoying a really sunny day with the kidlets. They're helping me clear the snow from the porch. Having fun, Boo?
Yeah.
Keep working. Okay, but I wanted to respond to a really interesting conversation I saw over on Scott Stratton's blog about the Yellow Pages, and that I agree and I disagree. I agree the Yellow Pages, the way it's being used by 99% of the people out there, is an absolute total waste of money. And when I was running my business and dealing with retail customers and having to manage all of my employees, it was one of the most expensive mistakes I ever made by advertising and then advertising larger. No, I didn't actually move up. I just started out big. And what it did is it increased the amount of time we wasted by answering calls from people who were coming to us from a position of adversity. You know, they were adversaries. They were skeptical, reluctant, and needed a great deal of education and training as to who we are, what we did, why we were better than anybody else, and what our unique selling proposition was. There was no trust there, so it took an awful lot of time, patience, energy, and ultimately money to earn trust. And there was an awful lot of dealing with tire kickers and people that we were ultimately not really good matches for the types of projects that they were doing and things like that. It was a very bad choice because the advertising was really more of a directory listing than anything initiated to initiate a relationship and begin the process of building trust. Now what I do for customers does tend to work better. And I don't know if you ever heard the joke. Now you got these two guys, they're out in the woods camping. They woke up in the middle of the night, they look out the tent, and there is a big, mean bear. Hungry bear. He's gonna get at least one of them. And one of the guys stops to put on his running shoes. The other guy in the tent says, you know, whether you got running shoes on or not, you're not going to be able to outrun that bear. And he looks at his friend and he says, I don't need to outrun the bear, I just need to outrun you. The way to use the Yellow Pages these days is to use it more strategically, more inexpensively, to be agile, to be in there, to just create a simple, low-risk call to action to get somebody to come to a website and begin on their own time, on their own dime, a very low-risk way of educating themselves, getting their questions answered, building rapport, building trust, getting comfortable, seeing what you do well, seeing what you don't do well, so that by the time they pick up that phone, they are pretty sure already that you're probably the vendor to satisfy their needs. And if you make it a call to action that's juicy, enticing, emotionally rewarding, and it gives them something that's empowering, inspiring, educational, come to our website to get these questions answered, to get this problem solved. The vendors I deal with, they know their customers. They know what kinds of problems they need solved, and they can give away their expertise in a report, in a video, in something that shows that they know what they're doing, and then they can follow up with an email autoresponder. So, you know, I agree with Sonia here that to be able to use it as a lead capture initiative like she does with the banner or pay-per-click, that rocks. That strategy it is easy to improve, and if you have a business that's used to spending a lot of money on a directory, it's not that difficult to apply that strategy and multiply their results many times over, while at the same time reducing the cost of the advertising, because you're not trying to sell the whole business. You're trying to sell just one quick website visit and an opt-in, and it doesn't take a lot of ad inch spaces to do that. Scott, your point about not being able to test and track, there too I disagree. I've actually been able to use Twitter, of all places, and AdWords to test. So it should seem pretty obvious about how you could use Twitter with something like budearl.com as a tracking link. Put up your 3 different yellow page or directory listing ads and see which got the most click-throughs to come to the end of that link. Do the tracking links. You can do that in a matter of minutes to hours, depending on how many followers you have. And you know, that rocks. That way you can test and track your copy before it goes to print. So that's all I got. Brian from Generosity Marketing, and thanks, Scott, for bringing up this great point. Bye.